Tonight I have an email to read from California. I am so grateful I can't keep it to myself. I am so grateful for Christian Science, and I'm so grateful that the Plainfield Christian Science Church became independent. The information provided from Plainfield is so unique and beneficial. I learned so much from the articles from Herbert W. Eustace, Bicknell Young, Gilbert Carpenter, and Mrs. Martha Wilcox. My life is changing. I love my life, and I would like to share with you what I mean. I was born in El Salvador in 1970. I was raised with no religion. My father was a wonderful father and a military man who kept religion away from us. But God always made a way into our lives. However, in 1980, my father was killed during the Civil War in my country. I was present during this event, and I was 10 years old. My mother had to leave the country, and she came to the United States of America to be able to provide for us. We were 3 girls, and I am the youngest. A neighbor had shared Psalm 91 with us. She said that we should read it if we ever felt scared. I learned Psalm 91 and would fall asleep repeating it many nights. Because of the death of my father, I found myself lost and confused. One day, I told myself that I was going to pretend that my father had not died and try to live my life pretending. At that very moment, I heard a voice that told me that I should not believe lies and that I should learn the truth. The voice told me that he was my real father and I could trust him. And I did. I lived my life following the counsel of the voice, which I called God. Since my mother had left, we had to live in different places with different people, and I always followed that voice of God and never struggled with anything. People would always love me and care for me, no matter where I went. Every time I felt scared because of the war going on, I was always able to run to God. It was marvelous. It was just like Psalm 91 says. I was dwelling in the secret place of the Most High. My childhood was wonderful because of this relationship I had with God. I remember I read the whole Bible when I was 10 years old and followed the Proverbs to the mark. God showed me and taught me so many wonderful things. I never followed any particular religion. This was done just by being able to listen to the voice of God and willing to follow Him. I guess that since I was a kid, I didn't have anything worldly that could stand in my way. In my late teens, I gave room to mortal mind and lost my connection with God. I had tried to gain it back, but I had not been successful. I studied different religions on my own, but it didn't help. Until now that I found Mrs. Eddy's Christian Science. I am starting to hear the voice of God again. I am starting to go into His presence like I used to, the secret place of the Most High. It's taking me to work for it, but I'm glad to do the work. There is still a lot for me to learn, but I know that I'm going the right way now. Each day it gets better. I am so grateful for Christian Science and for the Plainfield Christian Science Church. I appreciate all the work that is done in Plainfield. And we are very grateful for her. She's been a wonderful translator for us. Right away, she joined in to help. Thank God. Thank God she found us.